Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Gamer Thoughts, the show where I just talk about what's been jumbling in my head this week. This week, I want to talk about co-op gaming. So I had a really fun opportunity this past week to play last year's game of the year, It Takes Two. So for those of you who don't know about It Takes Two, it is a game that essentially is a forced co-op experience. The game is impossible to beat by yourself. You have to have two people to occupy two separate roles and overcome the challenges of the game. And it was absolutely fun. It was awesome. But it got me thinking about co-op gaming and my experiences with co-op gaming as I've grown up. Some of the earliest co-op that I can remember playing is Halo. I think most people remember Halo doing couch co-op and the awesome things that it provided. And then more recently, I've been playing games like Genshin Impact, which does have a co-op mode, or the Souls series, which has co-op gameplay inside of it, as well as games like Final Fantasy XIV, which has a very robust multiplayer co-op experience. However, I've definitely noticed some trends with co-op recently and multiplayer gaming, and how it is very much so a afterthought when it comes to making a game. Generally, co-op feels like it's something that's shoot in because they know people are going to want to play with each other, and while it's still fun and what's there is good, it's not a necessity of the game. The games can still be enjoyed by oneself without any kind of collaborative effort. This is in contrast to games where it's required, like It Takes Two or Final Fantasy XIV. As an MMO, the harder content cannot be cleared by yourself. You literally have to go in with a party. However, even Final Fantasy XIV recently is going back and making updates to old content within the game. This is actually a really rare thing to see, but Final Fantasy XIV is going back to its base game and patching its dungeons and patching a lot of the multiplayer content so that it can be experienced solo. To make the game quote-unquote more accessible and catch a wider net of players who wouldn't try it because it's an MMO and because of the multiplayer experience. And I got thinking about this and just how I viewed multiplayer as always this huge benefit to games, and it's something that I always have a blast when I can play with other people, and especially playing a game like It Takes Two, where it's required. There's this part of me that no matter what I do, I can't control the situation because I have a second person playing with me, which is this fascinating experience because it allows me to let go and not take things as seriously. Where in some games it provides the opposite effect. It makes people act even more serious and more competitive and more upset that they can't control what's going on around them. And I just think it's a interesting thing. I think it's kind of crazy to see games that are being developed now with co-op in mind, with this idea that no, co-op has to take place, whereas some historically co-op games are saying, okay, we're gonna find ways to ease up on this a little and make things more accessible. Whereas I think the co-op gaming experience allows for a very different kind of leisure, and the idea of, just sitting back with your friends and dinking around for a few hours. But those are kind of just the thoughts that have been jumbling around in my head this week. I think co-op gaming is a great thing, and I'd love to see more of it. I'm very excited that It Takes Two won Game of the Year, because I think that's going to spur more people to try and develop games like this. But do you think this is a good trend? Do you want to see more co-op games? Do you have friends that you definitely want to sit down and do those kind of experiences with? Or are you fully locked in as a solo gamer and you don't want anyone else in your space and you're just skipping any kind of game that requires co-op? Let me know down in the comments. If you like this content, remember to like and subscribe. We have gaming content all over the channel, both in our shorts, and we upload a few different gaming videos each week, including Gamer Thoughts every Sunday. As always, much love, and we'll see you next week.